In the silence of ancient temples and the din of modern megacities, people have for centuries sought the path to inner peace. Meditation and spiritual practices, born millennia ago, today encounter previously unseen technologies. At this astonishing crossroads, something new is born, a union of eternal wisdom and digital innovations. Artificial intelligence, having permeated all spheres of life, now cautiously knocks on the doors of the most intimate human experience, our spirituality. Can we trust algorithms to guide us on the path of self-discovery? Are machines capable of understanding the subtle matters of consciousness? How can we find a balance between ancient traditions and technological capabilities? These questions no longer seem like fantasy. Millions of people daily use applications with AI elements for meditation, while scientists and spiritual leaders try to comprehend the consequences of this union for human development. From ancient mantras to digital algorithms, the path of meditation spans thousands of years. Originating in the depths of Eastern traditions, mindfulness practices have undergone a long journey of transformation. Buddhist monks, Taoist sages, and Hindu yogis have honed techniques for centuries, aimed at calming the mind and understanding human inner nature. This knowledge was passed down orally from teacher to student, preserving a living tradition of continuous succession. The 20th century brought revolutionary changes. Meditation met with a scientific approach. Researchers with electroencephalographs discovered that a state of deep meditation is accompanied by specific brain waves. What was previously considered an exclusively spiritual experience received a scientific explanation. Psychologists and neurophysiologists began to integrate elements of meditative practices into therapeutic protocols, creating such directions as mindfulness therapy. The first digital assistants for meditation appeared in the 80s of the last century. Simple audio recordings with guided meditations and bioacoustic programs for synchronizing brainwaves. With the development of smartphones, a new era began. Mobile applications made meditation accessible to everyone. The first algorithmic systems appeared, tracking progress and adapting practices to the individual needs of users. The modern market for meditation applications is experiencing a real boom. Headspace, Calm, Waking Up, and dozens of other platforms use artificial intelligence algorithms to make ancient practices more accessible and effective. These digital assistants no longer simply play pre-recorded meditations. They analyze user data and create a personalized experience. The Aura app, for example, uses machine learning to analyze the user's emotional state. The algorithm assesses a person's mood through short surveys and offers suitable practices, calming meditations for anxiety or energizing ones for fatigue. The system constantly learns, remembering user preferences and reactions, making recommendations increasingly accurate. Feel Wearable goes further. This bracelet with biometric sensors reads heart rate, skin temperature, and electrodermal activity. AI analyzes these indicators in real time, determining stress levels and meditation quality. If the practitioner's attention wanders, the app gently brings them back to the practice, adapting the instructions. Studies show impressive results. According to data from Stanford University, users of adaptive AI meditation apps demonstrate 30% higher attention span compared to control groups using standard audio recordings. 75% of users report reduced anxiety after just 2 weeks of regular practice. Imagine your brain is a book with billions of pages that no one could read before. Today, artificial intelligence is beginning to decipher this unique text, opening new horizons in meditation practices. Neurofeedback, a technology that allows you to see your own brain activity in real time, combined with AI, creates a revolutionary approach to spiritual practices. Devices like the Muse headband detect electrical brain activity through sensors placed on the scalp. Algorithms instantly analyze these signals, determining whether you are in a state of deep meditation or your mind is wandering among everyday concerns. When attention wavers, the system gently brings you back to practice through audio cues. The sound of rain intensifies when concentration drops and subsides when the mind settles. More advanced systems, such as neuromeditation, go further. They not only track, but also recognize specific types of meditative states: focused attention, open monitoring, compassion, or quiet presence. AI analyzes individual brain activity patterns and adjusts audiovisual stimuli, helping to achieve the desired state faster. Researchers at MIT have developed a system capable of recognizing even subtle changes in alpha and theta waves, characteristic of deep meditation. This allows for the creation of dynamic consciousness maps, showing how the activity of different brain areas changes during practice. Some experts compare this approach to using a mirror when learning to dance. You see your movements and can correct them. Only here, the mirror becomes neural networks, reflecting the dance of your consciousness. In a world where every person is unique, the spiritual path cannot be the same for everyone. Today, adaptive artificial intelligence algorithms are creating truly personalized spiritual development programs that take into account the subtle features of the practitioner's psychological profile. Modern systems collect multidimensional data, from basic biometric indicators to complex patterns of reactions to various meditation techniques. The Insight Timer app, for example, analyzes not only the duration and regularity of your practices, but also your emotional states before and after meditation, creating a multi-dimensional map of your spiritual progress. Algorithms identify hidden correlations, which techniques are most effective for you at certain times of the day or in specific emotional states. The MindBliss platform goes further. It uses psychometric profiling technology, determining whether you belong to a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic type of perception. Based on this data, the system offers meditations with an emphasis on visualization, sound practices, or body-oriented techniques. The most advanced systems, such as Spirit AI, create dynamic spiritual development programs that evolve with the practitioner. If the algorithm notices that you have reached a plateau in a certain technique, it offers a new challenge or an alternative approach. When you experience difficulties, the system can return to more basic practices, strengthening the foundation. This resembles the work of an experienced spiritual mentor who sensitively responds to the needs of the student, but with the advantage of continuous monitoring and data analysis. In the digital age, a phenomenon has emerged that, just a decade ago, seemed unthinkable: virtual spiritual mentors, created with artificial intelligence. These digital gurus are becoming guides in the world of spiritual practices for millions of people who lack access to traditional teachers or are seeking alternative paths to development. Systems like Spiritual AI and Guru Bot utilize extensive knowledge bases, including texts from ancient traditions, modern psychological research, and recordings of conversations with recognized meditation masters. Algorithms process this data, creating virtual mentors capable of engaging in dialogue, answering questions, and providing personalized recommendations for spiritual practice. The psychological aspect of interacting with such systems is surprisingly profound. Research shows that many practitioners form an emotional connection with digital teachers, experiencing a sense of trust and openness. The human brain, programmed for social interaction, perceives the virtual mentor as a real interlocutor, especially when the system demonstrates empathy and adaptive behavior. However, this phenomenon raises serious questions. Can an algorithm devoid of personal experience of enlightenment truly guide others on a spiritual path? Traditionally, a teacher doesn't just transmit information. They embody the teaching through their life, creating a field of resonance in which the student is transformed. A virtual mentor lacks this living presence, replacing it with an imitation of understanding. On the other hand, digital gurus have undeniable advantages. They are available at any time, free from human flaws and ego, not subject to scandals and abuses of power, which, unfortunately, occur in traditional spiritual communities. Immersion into the depths of consciousness is today acquiring a new dimension thanks to the fusion of immersive technologies. Virtual reality, augmented by intelligent algorithms and biofeedback systems, creates unprecedented opportunities for meditative practices. Modern VR headsets transport practitioners into carefully simulated spaces, from serene mountain peaks to fantastical worlds existing beyond physical laws. The Deep VR program, developed by neuroscientists from the University of California, plunges users into oceanic depths, where their breathing controls movement through underwater landscapes. Sensors track not only respiratory rhythm, but also brain activity, and artificial intelligence adapts the visual environment, enhancing elements that induce the most profound meditative states. Research into the effectiveness of such approaches shows impressive results. A group of scientists from Stanford found that a 20-minute session in an immersive environment with adaptive AI causes changes in brain activity comparable to those observed in experienced meditators with many years of practice. The Sound Self technology goes even further, creating audio-visual landscapes that react to the meditator's voice. When a person utters prolonged sounds, the system generates harmonious visual patterns, creating a feedback loop between consciousness and the digital environment. This induces states reminiscent of those achieved with entheogens, but without chemical intervention. The prospects for the development of these technologies are truly exciting. Next-generation neurointerfaces will be able to read not only general patterns of brain activity, but also specific emotional states, creating virtual worlds attuned to the subtlest nuances of the practitioner's psyche. Our mind is a complex system, full of uncharted territories. Modern artificial intelligence technologies are becoming cartographers of these inner spaces, helping us to recognize emotional states and analyze thought processes with unprecedented accuracy. Emotional recognition systems, such as Emotion Sense, analyze not only facial expressions and vocal modulations, but also subtle changes in biometric indicators. Algorithms identify hidden patterns of anxiety, suppressed anger, or unconscious fear long before a person even notices these states themselves. The Mind Scanner application goes further. It tracks recurring negative thought cycles through linguistic patterns in a user's journal entries. When the algorithm detects signs of rumination or catastrophizing, it suggests specific meditative practices aimed at breaking these destructive cycles. In psychotherapeutic practice, such tools become indispensable assistants. A cognitive behavioral therapy clinic in Toronto integrated the thought tracker system into its work with patients suffering from obsessive-compulsive disorders. AI helps visualize intrusive thoughts in the form of interactive maps, making invisible processes tangible. This allows patients to literally see their thought traps and learn how to avoid them. For ordinary users, such technologies become a mirror of the inner world, reflecting what is usually hidden from conscious perception. They create a peculiar effect of estrangement. the ability to observe one's own thoughts and emotions from the outside, as if they belonged to another person. This metacognitive shift is a key element in developing emotional resilience and mindfulness. Spiritual practices have always been a collective experience, from ancient ritual ceremonies to modern group meditations in Buddhist centers. Today, artificial intelligence is creating a new form of collective consciousness, uniting practitioners in virtual space. The Coherence platform uses algorithms to synchronize the breathing and heart rate of participants located in different parts of the planet. Thousands of people simultaneously enter a meditative state, and AI tracks their collective biometrics, creating what researchers call a coherence field. Virtual rituals are becoming a new reality. The Sacred Circle app unites practitioners in digital temples, where algorithms coordinate group visualizations and mantras. The system analyzes the brain activity patterns of participants and adapts the visual and audio accompaniment to enhance the synchronization effect. The phenomenon of digital consciousness synchronization is attracting the attention of serious researchers. Scientists from the Institute of Noetic Sciences have found that groups meditating with adaptive AI systems demonstrate statistically significant synchronization of alpha brainwaves, a phenomenon previously observed only in experienced monks in traditional monasteries. Collective field technology creates three-dimensional visualizations of this group mind, displaying the interaction of participants' energy fields as dynamic holographic structures. The question arises, are we using technology to create a new form of collective consciousness? Or are we simply imitating the ancient experience of unity in a digital format? In a world where spirituality becomes a commodity and meditations are sold as subscriptions, we face fundamental ethical questions. Can we entrust an algorithm with the most intimate aspect, the path to our inner self? The transformation of ancient practices into digital products raises justified concern among traditional spiritual teachers. When an app with a $10 monthly fee promises enlightenment in 8 weeks, isn't the very essence of spiritual seeking lost? Marketers create beautiful promises, and developers package millennia-old practices into convenient 5-minute sessions for busy users. The spiritual path, which previously demanded complete dedication, turns into a convenient consumer product to be squeezed in between business meetings. The authenticity of the experience becomes the central question of this discussion. Can an experience mediated by an algorithm be considered a genuine spiritual experience? When an artificial intelligence system directs your attention and interprets your states, is there still room for true self-discovery? Some researchers compare this to the difference between walking in a real forest and looking at its photographs. Outwardly similar, but essentially different. Others point to the paradoxical nature of the problem itself. After all, traditional spiritual practices also use intermediaries, teachers, texts, rituals. Perhaps digital tools are just a new form of such intermediaries. Another aspect of this dilemma is the issue of data and privacy. When an app tracks your emotional states and spiritual progress, who owns this information? What happens to the data about your inner world? They can be used to improve algorithms, but also potentially for targeted advertising or even manipulation. Where is the line between technological support and digital intrusion into the most intimate aspects of our being? In a world of rapid technological change, traditional spiritual systems face a complex choice: to preserve the purity of ancient teachings or to embrace new digital tools. This question has divided spiritual leaders worldwide. The 14th Dalai Lama, known for his open attitude toward science, expressed cautious optimism. Technology itself is neutral. Everything depends on the human heart that uses it. Many Buddhist teachers see AI tools as potential skillful means, a concept that has existed in Buddhism for thousands of years and implies adapting teaching methods to the needs of specific students. Orthodox and Catholic hierarchs express more concerns. Metropolitan Hilarion notes, "A machine cannot replace living communication with a spiritual guide. In the sacrament of confession, there is not only a human, but also a divine element." Sufi sheikhs emphasize that baraka, spiritual grace, cannot be transmitted through digital channels. At the same time, young representatives of traditional lineages are seeking compromise solutions. Tibetan Lama Tenzin Priyadarshi has created a center where ancient practices of visualizing deities are combined with neurofeedback systems. The key principle of integrating technology into spiritual practices is formulated by many masters in the same way. Technology should serve as a tool, not become an end in itself. As Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh says, "The tool should dissolve into the practice, just as chopsticks disappear from the perception of an experienced eater." Perhaps the wisdom lies in seeing technology not as a replacement for tradition, but as a new chapter in its development. Looking into the future, we see amazing prospects for the synthesis of technology and spiritual practices. Quantum computing, currently in its infancy, promises a revolution in consciousness modeling. Unlike classical computers, which operate with binary bits, quantum systems operate with qubits, existing simultaneously in multiple states, similar to how human consciousness can hold many perspectives. Researchers at Princeton University are already experimenting with quantum algorithms to model non-dual states of consciousness, characteristic of deep meditation. Next-generation neurointerfaces will likely enable a direct connection between the brain and digital systems, bypassing the need for physical devices. Imagine meditation where your brain directly interacts with artificial intelligence, adjusting the practice in real time. At the same time, the most important question remains the preservation of the human essence of spiritual seeking. Technologies must remain tools, not become ends in themselves or substitutes for genuine experience. As Zen masters say, "The finger pointing to the moon is not the moon itself." Similarly, even the most perfect algorithms only point the way, but the person themselves must walk it. Perhaps the highest wisdom lies in using technology where it truly helps, and letting it go when it becomes an obstacle. Ultimately, even the most advanced artificial intelligence is a reflection of our own consciousness, a mirror in which we see ourselves. And in this paradoxical unity of the human and the technological, a new understanding of what it means to be human in the era of digital transformation may be born.